Hi there! Due to popular demand, I decided to make a short guide covering the new Gunsmoke boss, going over its mechanics and most important team building considerations. It's less in depth than my previous videos, which makes it easier for me to get it out in time for the start of the new season. I hope this format is sufficient to get everyone up to speed on the most relevant details of the fight. First, the boss has a massive 175 stability shield. Until broken, it benefits from the usual 80% damage reduction effect. Then, note that this battle places 3 allied Viagas around the field that need your protection. They start with 2 stacks of a buff that grants bonuses to the team. Depending on the Viaga, you're either getting 6% attack per stack, 6% defense penetration, or +1 stability damage. At the end of the round, the stacks increase by 1, but one of the boss's attacks reduces the stacks by 2. Your goal is to protect them from these hits, if possible, and to heal and cleanse them when necessary. The boss cycles between 2 attack patterns. On odd-numbered rounds, it starts by using a skill that summons 3 bugs in an area around itself. One of them spawned outside of the camera view down there. They have around 6k HP and should be killed, as their attacks will apply a non-cleansable debuff that lowers your attack by 30% for 2 turns. Having AoE attacks helps clearing the bugs, though they are pretty far apart. No trouble for the electric or corrosion team though. Once defeated, they leave behind toxic tiles that deal fixed damage to characters ending their turns on them. Next is a cover-ignoring AoE attack that hits all targets around the boss within a 6-tile area. It uses this attack every round. If the boss hits at least 5 targets, it applies a debuff to itself that reduces its defense by 8%, stacking up to 3 times. Make sure to have the team in range for this attack. If no one gets hit, the boss will increase its attack by 5% instead, up to 7 times. Due to the positioning here, only Jiang Yu gets pulled towards the center. The third skill targets all Viagas on turn 1, and there's nothing you can do to prevent this. Subsequent uses of the skill, however, will change to hitting the targets farthest from the center of the warning tiles it creates with another ability, meaning you can soak the hits in place of the Viagas. This is mostly relevant because the Viagas lose 2 stacks of health if hit by this ability. This attack also applies a debuff that increases the damage taken by 10%. When cleansed, everyone on the team receives a 10% attack boost, stacking up to 3 times and lasting for 2 rounds. The duration of the debuff and buff is round based, so characters with extra actions like Toro don't miss out. After each Viaga is hit and the attack concludes, you can see that the health buff stacks were reduced from 3 to 1. Here, Yohi cleanses the debuff and everyone on the team gains a 10% attack buff. Global cleansers are helpful, but you need abilities that aren't limited to dolls. On even numbered rounds, the boss starts with a skill that attacks everyone around itself in a 6-tile AoE. If at least 5 targets are hit, it will continue to reduce its defense by 8% until reaching the limit of 24% defense reduction. The next skill targets all dolls on the map and creates more toxic tiles around the positions it strikes. The toxic tiles spawn in a 1-tile area around the dolls, so don't have them stand directly next to a Viaga. Afterwards, the boss creates the aforementioned warning tiles around the positions of the Viagas. When it uses its third skill that previously targeted all Viagas, it now switches to targeting the enemy furthest from the center of the warning tiles. Therefore, have at least 1 doll stand somewhere in the warning tile range. Since the Viaga is at the center, any other position will automatically become the main target for the attack. As a reminder, you want to prevent hits to the Viagas, as that will make them lose 2 stacks of health. They gain 1 stack at the end of the team's turn. After the unavoidable first attack, they should always be at stacks equal to the round number -1. For instance, on round 4, they have 3 stacks of health to grant 80% bonus attack and defense penetration, as well as 3 additional stability damage. Having your dolls spread out to cover for the Viagas might lead you to not having 5 targets in range for the boss attack on round 3. Andres here takes a tile that is within range of the attack and inside the warning tile area, but Yohi down here and Jiangju up here are outside of the attack range. With 2 summons you can still have enough targets in range, but otherwise you're reaching the 3rd stack of defense reduction only after round 4. That's pretty much everything you need to know about this fight. Kill the bugs and stay close to the boss if possible. Soak hits for the Viagas by having 1 doll stand in each of the warning tile areas. Continue to cleanse debuffs for a team-wide attack buff. AoE damage and global cleanse is helpful. Note that you apparently have to kill all ads before the boss dies, otherwise your score is slightly lower. Best of luck with your attempts. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.